government officials in all kinds of spaces and in all kinds of sectors give us very nice grammar, give us very nice ideas, but it looks like when it comes to the implementation, because I'm looking at what the NDC have here, and I normally like to go with policy, not just the ones that they just throw about every now and then. It's something that you can hold them to. When you look at the things that you can hold them to, great ideas about a 15 point plan. Here, I mean, everything you can think of, from just like David said, you put the crop in the soil, it will germinate. There will be food. There will be this. There will be this. There will be this. But why is implementation so difficult, lawyer? Why? I didn't force you to write this, so you'd have thought about it. Yeah. So if something that you yourself have put on paper, and I'm only using this for previous governments as well, if it is something you have thought of and you've been smart enough to put it on paper, the thing that you've thought about, you should be, even if you're not going to be able to implement everything, you should be able to implement some and do it very well. Why do they struggle?
Good morning, Kwame.
Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners. Kwame, the first day I set my foot into this studio, I told you something, but it seems you've forgotten. I said the problem with Ghana is about leadership. That is our problem. We do not have leaders who want to devote themselves in doing things. At any given time that a leader is placed in a particular position, he think about himself first. He think about those who are around him. He think about what he can do for his community before thinking about others. And that's our problem. So you may see that the politicians will come up with nice policies, but then the policies will sink. A typical example is what we are talking about investing about $2.4 billion into planting for food and jobs. And Kwame, look at what happened. If you remember, around August, September, the outgone Minister of Agriculture went to Parliament.
Dr. Kutu, you mean?
No, Brian Champon went to Parliament requesting for about $8 billion.
That was when there was a crisis.
Yes. But if we are implementing planting for food and jobs, why should that be a problem? Why should that be a problem? Because, Kwame, at the beginning of the last administration, I am not criticizing them here, but we want to. The main reason why we learn history is to know our problems so that we can build upon them. One of the things that they did was to create what we call dams. And then the main idea behind the dams were what? For irrigation. So if years go by, then we still come and see that because there was a problem with rains, and for that matter, our yield is low. Well, Kwame, let's be honest with ourselves. Then what we claim that we did we truly do them? Because the dams specifically were for what? For irrigation. We were again investing.
And we spent a lot of money on that.
Yes, and we were again investing money into planting for food and what? And jobs. At the end of the 8 years, you saw that even, look at the name, planting for food and jobs, meaning it's supposed to create what? Employment. But unemployment went up to 14.7. There were no food. We were supposed to import what? Food. So, Kwame, exactly what I am telling you, and I will continue to tell you, that our problem is about leadership. Our problem is about how we want to implement things, because at any given time, even with the implementation, when we are implementing them, we want to look at those who are runners. And that's our major problem. If not that, as my brother said, I come from Latte. Latte is a mountainous area with rocks. Even there, people are farming cocoa. Haven't you seen a building where on top of the roof there are leaves? Mm-hmm. Wherever soil settles in Ghana here, things will start growing up. So we don't have problem with that. God have blessed us. All that we need is leadership. People who want to do things from their will. People who want to move the nation ahead. People who want to do for their people to be in a good position. Kwame, let me tell you another thing. One of the major problems too we have here is, if you look at something like poultry, we can go into viable poultry. Kwame, See, the last administration invested $5 million into a poultry farm called Acro Farms within my district. That's when you're from Latte going to Florida, near Adolso. Kwame, if we are to go there today, that $5 million poultry have collapsed.
Why?
Why? Because people have been given license to import, to come and compete with the same company. People have been given license to import, to come and compete with the same company. See, because people have been given license to import, to come and compete with the same company. People have been given license to import, to come and compete with the same company. See, at President Mahama administration 1, what the government did then was that if you want to import poultry, go to Ministry of Agriculture for a license and demonstrate to Ministry of Agriculture that you have already purchased 60% of the product that you want to go buy from outside the country. So you purchase 60% from Ghana here, then you purchase the 40% outside what? The country. That system was abolished in the last administration, and you can import 100%. So you see, those products were very cheap. So when you bring them into the system, it will force the indigenous companies to what? To collapse. Acro farms have collapsed. The one who established Acro farm was my mate at Okwapamine School, Bediako. $5 million gone down the drain. Nothing there to show. So Kwame, if we don't take measures, see, we invest about $600 million worth of chicken into Ghana. If we are to develop our poultry farm well, and we are keeping this $600 million in the economy, it's not enough money. 10 years, we are talking about $6 billion. 10 years, we are talking about $6 billion. We import over 400 million worth of sugar. Sugar, not anything, sugar. $400 million worth of sugar into Ghana every year. Add that $400 million to the $600 million in respect to poultry. That's $1 billion. How much do we go to IMF for? $3 billion. So in 3 years, just poultry and sugar can take care of the IMF thing that we are talking about. So you see, our problem that we have in Ghana here is about leadership. It's about people who do not have the nation at heart. Because you can't tell me that if there is Commander Sugar Factory and your only problem that you spoke about when you came into government was that there were no farms. I did some small research on sugarcane. It takes only 6 months. You can harvest it. And for 8 years, we could not farm sugarcane. And Commander Sugar Factory, now we need more than $13 to $15 million to go and invest into that company before it can work. Then we are wicked. So our problem that we are in Ghana here today is all about leadership.
Okay.
It's all about implementation. It's all about people who are greedy. It's all about... You see, yesterday, the agri minister, he was perfect. He was good. But then you heard what my brother was saying as to whether those perfect things that he was talking about can be what? Transmitted into what? Implementation. That is our problem.
That's another problem. Let me get a gentleman whose party believes in the ideals of domestication. And I'm sure they would have been very happy listening to the Honorable Opoku say all the nice and flowery things that he